Hey guys, this is Galva King Bob. I'm back with a mono white deck deck. Since the Innistrad block and M13 cycled out, I had to kind of do a few change ups. So here we go. Start with the land. I'm running 20 planes. The deck's real low mana cost. You really don't need to run a whole lot of lands. I was running 23 and I'd flood and couldn't do anything with the mana. So I lowered it down and put a few more cards in. And here we go. I'm going to start with the creatures. For the 1 drops, I'm running 4 Boros Elite. 1 mana, 1/1 battalion gets +2/+2. Running 3 soldiers. 1 mana, 2/1 that has protection from multicolor, and whenever your opponents play a multicolor spell, you gain 1 life. Really good around here. A lot of people run 2 or 3 color decks, so you gain a pretty good bit of life, and he can get in and do a little bit more damage without having to worry about it. Running 3 Precinct Captains. 2 mana, 2/2 first strike. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you put a 1/1 soldier onto the battlefield. Pretty good for a 2-drop. Nobody really expects him to really see play, so most of the time they don't block him the first couple of rounds, and you gotta get the creature advantage on it, which is more damage to push through because you want to get as much damage through as quickly as possible with this deck. Running 3 Imposing Sovereigns. 2 mana, 2/1 that makes your opponent's creatures come into play tapped. Really good, especially like when you run into a green-white, because it's really strong right now with the Fleece Main line and the Lexodon Punishers, or Smiters, excuse me. And so making them come into tap kind of gets you an extra turn. You can hit them before they can actually start blocking your stuff. I'm running 4 Fiendslayer Paladin. Like I said, it's a real good card. If you're running, especially if you're running mono white, you should run 4, especially with Silverblade Paladin being gone. He's pretty much your best 3-drop. He's a 3 mana, 2/2 first strike, lifelink, and can't be the target of spells that are red and black by your opponent. Really good card, and it pretty much shuts down pretty much red deck wins a lot if you drop him. The only thing that can really wipe him is Anger the Gods, and I've got things in here to kind of help you out to protect him from that. I'm only running 2 Fabled Heroes in this deck. I don't have a lot of targeting spells because you don't really need them. I mean, I've got a few in here that are pretty good, but his heroic effect's not really going to kick in too much, but he is a 2/2 double striker. Running 3 Banisher Priests. 3 mana, 2/2. It's pretty much an Oblivion Ring on a stick for creatures, and kind of help you out. Like I said, get rid of some of the bigger stuff that you can't deal with at that point, and keep hitting them for damage. Running 1 Heliod. I was running 2, but every time I get him into my hand, I'd always have 2 in my hand, and he doesn't really go anywhere once one's out. So I kind of dropped to 1. The vigilance thing kind of helps out, and then the only good part about him is you do get to put tokens onto the battlefield. So if they board wipe, you do have a token creator. So I mean, it always works out pretty good. All right, now we're gonna move to the non-creature spells. I'm running 2 Sphere Heliod. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Pay 2 white and 1. Tap, destroy target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. Really good for mono white because there's not too much creature destruction. For mono white, there's the 2 mana they sack a attacking creature, but other than that, they're not that great. I'm running 4 Brave the Elements. Pretty much gives all white creatures you control protection from a color of choice. I don't really use that for like burn spells unless I've got to. Unless it's Anger the Gods, you can, all your creatures won't die, and they pretty much waste their mana. But you can use it to swing out and make your stuff unblockable pretty much, because like if they're running, red and green aggro, most of their stuff's either hybrid or it's green, so you just give all your stuff protection from green and swing out and hopefully kill them. I'm running 3 Silence, very good. 1 mana, target opponent can't cast spells this turn. You can use it for combat tricks before you go into combat. You know, that make it where they can't fog you or anything, or if they're going to, they have to do it then. Or what I do is, especially if I'm playing blue against blue and white, they like the Supreme Verdict turn 4, and I'm saying you can just stop it because they can't do it in response unless they're playing Quicken. And for some reason, I haven't seen too many people play Quicken for some reason. I don't know why. It's a really good blue card. I mean, for 1 mana, it's a draw spell, and you can play a sorcery as an instant. That's always pretty good. But like I said, it stops them from verdicting. Because that's really what hurts the deck, is just the board wipes. Once they board wipe pretty good, it kind of takes you a couple turns to get stable, and it gives them too much of a chance to drop something that's way too much to deal with. I'm running 2 Ordeal of Heliod, excuse me. 2 mana enchant creature. When it attacks, it gets a +1/+1 counter. Whenever it has 3/1/1 counters, you sack it and you gain 10 life. The life gain is a bonus for it, but like I said, I had to run some targeting spells in the deck because of the Fabled Hero. And I mean, you're targeting with it, and for 2 mana, he's a, it's +1. He gets a 1/1 counter on him. And then if you attack with him that same turn, he's going to get, another 1/1 counter on him. So he'll be a 4/4 double striker the turn you attack with it. So it's pretty good. Running 4 God's Willing. It pretty much took place of Fate Shield. I don't know exactly which one I think, in my opinion, was better, Fate Shield or this. The upside to this is you do get to scry, but the downside to it is you can only target a creature with it, and it doesn't have the Fate's Hour, which pretty much turns it into a Brave the Elements, which kind of helps out. But that's the best thing we got going right now for that, so it's in here. Running 4 of them. And then I'm running 2 Johnny, Caller of the Pride. Like I said, I do have some life gain in the deck, and if I do get to crack his ultimate, that's pretty good. But most of the time, I'm really not. I'm going to use the +1, and if I'm sure I can get damage through, then I'll use his -3 for his flying and double strike, which is pretty good. I'm not running the Cavalry Pegasus, because when I was test playing the deck, every time I drop it and go to swing with it, they kill it before you could declare attacks. And it's a real good card, but it's just a 2 mana 1/1, and then you have to, if you don't have a Fate Shield, it's dying, and all your stuff's not going to gain flying. And most of the time, anyways, if you're already going to swing out like that, you're going to Brave the Elements to make it where they can't block. So I think personally you're better off just not running it. I do have it sideboarded. But that's it right now. If you guys would subscribe if you want, or leave me comments, I'll answer them. Just let me know what you think. If you have any tips or anything you want to give to me, just write it in the box. I appreciate it. Take it easy.